My grandmother's absolutely amazing. She has 24 degrees and counting, including a doctorate. She has a pilot's license, and she has been able to earn all of this through her children and her grandchildren. And even though she doesn't have a college degree of her own, she has so many from so many different institutions, including top HBCUs like Spelman, Morehouse, Clark Atlanta, and also some PWIs like the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. The fact is that my aunts and my uncles, my cousins, myself, we would not be where we are today without my grandmother and her expectation of excellence. And so when I look at my grandmother, I see her as the epitome of what Black excellence is. And I hope someday to be just as excellent as she is. She was a woman who cleaned houses for white people. She was a woman that worked in the hospital. She was a woman that was getting paid less than $1 a week and making it work for her children. She would make clothes out of drapes. She would go down to King Street in Charleston, South Carolina, and make sure that her children had the best shoes possible because what you wear on your feet matters. And she would make a way out of what seemed like no way. From age 8, picking beans, to having her first child at 16, she became a mother, and that is the identity that she truly stepped into, making sure that she could do the best that she could for her kids. And I know a lot of times when people talk about Black excellence, they talk about it in a way that is attached to classism. But for me, Black excellence is anybody who is out there Black and just truly being excellent in the way that you show up, in the way that you treat other people, in the way that you also treat yourself. And excellence is starting to expand and be defined differently. Before my grandmother, it literally is about the work that you do. She was excellent, right, at literally just cleaning. The way that you wash your dish matters. The way that you make your bed matters. The way that you step out of this house matters. And it's not for anyone else, it's for yourself. It's for you to look good. It's for you to feel good. It's for you to give a signal to other people how they are going to treat you, no matter where you are from, no matter which side of the track you may reside on. This is who you are, and you will always be worthy of every single desire that you have in your heart. There was no blueprint for people in my family who had gone to college. But my grandmother said, even though there is no blueprint, that is the expectation, is that you are going to college because hard work and education and knowledge and excellence will put you on the path of being successful. And not what we define as success in America, but what you will define success as. And so, as I define Black excellence, is to have the courage and to act in doing. My grandmother was a doer. She did for herself, she did for her 8 children, she did for family members that she also took in, she did for her people on her block and people who were in her community, and she still continues to do till this day. And there is a level of excellence that is passed down within my family. Just as people talk about intergenerational pain, as they talk about intergenerational trauma, I have to highlight that there's also intergenerational strength, there's intergenerational excellence, and it's literally been passed down within our genes for so long. I believed that the person who showed me what excellence was and really pushed excellence within me was my mother. And as I got older, I realized that excellence is a part of my family. It's a part of our culture, and it comes from my grandmother. It was her doing excellence in her way. Even though she was cleaning houses, she was the most excellent in pouring into her children the best way that she knew how. And so I think it's really important, especially during this time, to make sure that you are listening to the stories of your grandmothers and your grandfathers and your elders, because they themselves are also Black history. And what they are doing is that they are telling you, if they can go through that pain and have attributes that allow them to get to where they have gotten to at that point, that means you have those same attributes within your genes. And it would be a shame for you not to pull on those. It'd be a shame for you not to activate those because they are within you, and you use those gifts, you use those inner superpowers that you have to help you succeed, right, in whatever way that may look like for you. And it's something that is definitely possible if you just stop to listen to their stories, if you just stop and realize that Black excellence is happening around you and it's happening within you. And I'll tell a very brief story of when I was actually doing some timeline work. And I remember my great grandmother coming to speak to me. We were on a train and she just grabbed my hand and she told me, "You are strong." And it just reminded me that I come from a lineage of people who are strong, and strength, as I define it looks differently. It looks like mentally strong, it looks like being physically strong, it looks like being emotionally strong and spiritually in strength, and knowing that I have that within myself and making sure that I'm always working to continue to strengthen myself, continue to strengthen on a mental, emotional, physical, soul level is really important to me. But I really do carry that with me, and forever grateful that she came and she visited me at a time where I think I really did need to hear it, and it really does continue to allow me to push forward and to move forward as well. Another thing that comes up when we're talking about our elders is that they always say to themselves, or say to us rather, "I want you to be better than me." And as I continue to listen to my grandmother's story, not just the one who was in Charleston, South Carolina, but I also have a grandmother who is an immigrant, came from Jamaica, settled in a small town in South Carolina, and her resilience, her her willingness, and her strength, and also knowing that she wasn't going to allow herself to be treated differently during a time where Black people were treated differently. Like, she was not going through the back door. And if you don't know what that means, then go ahead and Google, because that's not the message for today. But she literally told me when I was interviewing her, like, she ain't no backdoor person. And so I think about my grandmothers, and in some sense it is, oh yes, be better, and in other sense it's, I want to be as excellent as you are. It will look differently, but the strength, the resilience, the way that you have been rooted is something that I hope I am just as excellent, half as excellent as you will give me the gold star. And I know that I will take that excellence, right, and I will make it my own and define it for myself. But I cannot sit here and say that I want to necessarily be better when the bar that you have set is actually so high in terms of the way that you treat people, in terms of the way that you show up for people and show up for community. And so a lot of people may say that they've never met my grandmother, but you have met her, because she shows up in every video, she shows up in every post, she shows up in every keynote that I do. That level of excellence that you see, in the level of excellence that you also don't see of me just wanting to make sure that things are right, and things that I show up in a way that people knows that I also care, then you've met her. Because that level, that expectation, right, of excellence is something that I am always working towards. And so as I really wrap up, right, I want to talk about how will you be excellent. It is something that I am answering myself, but it's a question that I will also pose to you, and making sure that we expand what it means to be excellent in not only the way that you show up, not only in the way that you treat others, but also in the way that you treat yourself. So many times people are doing so much, especially today, where we are being pulled in 50 plus 1 million directions. And it can be so easy to put yourself on the back burner, to put pouring into yourself to truly be excellent on the back burner. When you are excellent, when you are feeding yourself, when you are taking care of yourself, when you are nourishing your spirit, when you're where you are emotionally clear and emotionally grounded, when you are mentally clear and mentally grounded, that really allows you to share your excellence in a way that people can receive it in a way that you aren't immediately drained. I know in the last video we talked about not only pouring from an empty cup but making sure that you're cleaning the cup, right? And so it's all of those things working together to allow you to show up in excellence. And I really do believe at this time, the best way for us to show up in excellence is making sure that we're treating ourselves in an excellent way. And so there's so many different ways to do that, right? But it's really about you sitting down and figuring out what works for you, whether that's going to the sauna once a month, whether that's you getting a massage every 2 weeks, whether that's you going to therapy weekly, whether that's you seeing a somatic practitioner, whether that's you going to a mindset coach, whether that's you releasing emotions, or whether that's you going to yoga or Pilates, or you just going for a walk in nature, whatever it looks like to care for yourself. It's really important that you understand what that is and not to put it at the back burner at this time, because we need you. You are needed. And so the best way for you to be able to show up for the people that you care about, whether that's your community, whether that's your team, whether that's your loved ones, whether that's your partner, is to first show up for yourself. And what you want, right, is to show up in a way where you are emotionally clear and you are mentally strong and in good physical health and having a soul that is truly unburdened and free. And so that is what I pose to you all. It's just, what does it look like to care for yourself in excellence? Until next time, I'm Imani Adia, and be limitless.